Hey, good morning, Dan. This is week 2 report of Golf League, and it was an interesting match. We were playing a team. They were we played them straight up. They had the same handicap as we did, so nobody gave strokes. We didn't have to give strokes on any holes. The two guys we played, one was he manages a store, like a retail store in La Crosse. He had a real hip issue. He walked with a pronounced limp, kind of a roll to his gait. Um, but in golf, what really matters is, can you hit the ball with the club? Can you hit it straight? And he could. The other guy was the chief of police at UW La Crosse, the university. And like in Washington, universities have fully commissioned police departments. They don't really have that in Minnesota at all the universities. So anyway, we started out, we were playing the back nine, and we started out on a par 3, which is pretty much an island green. Water surrounds 3 sides of the green. The back of it, there's not water until you go way back, so you have to hit it way long. But and Mike and I did play the hole before we started our match. We went out early, which is good because it then gives you an idea of which club to hit. And I hit a really good shot. It landed just below the hole and then rolled 10 feet above it, and it was a sloping green, back to front. Mike hit his over the green, so we took mine, and then the other guys, the one guy hit it in the water, and then the other guy hit it almost in the water, but it stayed up. And then he made this incredible chip. This guy with a bad hip was he was really great with his short game, and chipped to about 6 inches for a par, which kind of deflated my balloon because I thought we were going to win that hole. Next hole, we get in some trouble off the tee, and it's really a straightforward hole, and we got in trouble. But the thing about Tremps is that the greens, especially in the back nine, are often turtle-backed, and they're really hard to hold, meaning you hit a shot in, and often the ball will bound over. Anyway, so both those guys were on in 2, and then we ended up in the sand, onto the green in 3, and then 2-putted for a 5. So they were 1 up. Next hole, it's a 100 and maybe 70-yard par 3, water on 2 sides, and I hit Mike hit his approach. I hit mine in the water. Mike hit his shot. It just went over up on a little hill about 10 feet, 8 feet maybe behind the green, and those guys were like maybe 3 feet short of the green, but puttable for them. And then they were away, and they putted first, and they were about 5 feet. They got about 5 feet from the hole, so they didn't hit very good putts. And then Mike's chip was terrible. He didn't even get to the green, and my chip was perfect. It rolled up and was inches from going in. So we got a par, and then both those guys missed their putts. So now we were all square. Next hole, same thing. They got in trouble. They were in sand in 2, out in 3, and we had a pretty easy 2-putt for a par. So now we're 1 up. Next hole's a par 5. We were on and below the hole in 3, pretty good birdie chance. and they were in trouble in 3 off, you know, the side of the green. And again, the guy with the bad hip steps up and hits this chip, you know, to a foot. And it's like, oh man. So we didn't make our birdie putt. Now we're all square. Next hole's a par 5. Now we're back, kind of coming back around, because you play the same 9. So we started on 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now we're back to 10. That's also a long par 5. And we pretty much hacked it up. I sucked on that hole. And somehow we managed to get a bogey out of the deal. And they bogeyed as well, even though they were on the green in 3, but they 3-putted. Next hole was a par 4, pretty long. I hit a great drive. My approach was about 12 feet beyond the hole, and I made this downhill breaking putt for birdie. It's like, woohoo! So now we're 2 up with 2 to go, and they're dormy. If you know what dormy means, meaning you are down or up as many holes as there are to go. So there's no way for us to lose at this point, although it felt like we did. So 12th hole, you're teeing off over water. There's water all the way down the right side. I tried to hit it too hard. I sliced it into the water. Mike hit his into trouble, and we ended up bogeying. They parred it. So now we're 1 up. And this next hole, you have water dividing the fairway out about 250. And so I tried to hit a light driver, and the problem with hitting a light driver is you end up hitting it really sweetly, and there's a sand trap right in front of the water, and I rolled 1 foot into the sand trap. So we ended up having to take Mike's. He was 200 yards out from the green, in the rough, and it was ugly. We ended up double bogeying that hole. They parred it. I think we did not meet our handicap, so we didn't get points there. It felt like a defeat, especially since Mike's dad, he's 82. He was out visiting from Ohio, and he was out with us. And Mike's dad, he was a school teacher, but he managed a municipal golf course every summer. And Mike has spent a lot of time, and still does spend time playing golf with him. And so he came out with us when we went out early and played, 9 holes. He came out and played the 9 holes with us, which was really nice. But it was disappointing not to be able to win the match, if only for him, definitely for us. So we were bummed. So anyway, that's my report of week 2. So we are 1 win, 0 losses, and 1 draw. And I'm not sure where we are in the points total. We won't get that. Chad doesn't send that out until next week. So anyway, that's my golf story, and I'm sticking to it.